Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Command Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So, leak season is nearly over for Modern Horizons 3. Not because there's actually like an established season for leaks, but because, well, spoiler season is coming up very shortly. So, then it will be spoilers instead of leaks. I guess technically you could have leaks coming out at the same time as spoilers. We shall see. Regardless, speaking of seeing things, I am finally seeing this potential leak, and no way. There is no way Wizards went this far with this one. Let's jump into it, and you can determine for yourself. So, apparently, and again, I do want to mention with this, on this episode, I'm going to be showing off both leaks, or leak, I should say, with this one, and spoilers. This one has not been officially confirmed. There is an image I'll show at the end of the episode that to some looks legit, to others doesn't look legit. It just kind of looks weird, but it's a meme, essentially, really. Okay, so we've got Colosseldrazimaw. Okay. So, obviously, a callback to Colosseldrazimaw, but with Eldrazi in it. Now, this is one of those things that's like, on, like, custom Magic, you could find this, like, as, like, a joke card, essentially. Did Wizards actually go about this? Now, obviously, they've got, like, inside things, or, like, you know, like, callbacks to other things, or, you know, a couple of, like, kind of, like, jokes here and there when it comes to Magic cards, especially in a set like Modern Horizons 3, where it is not, like, a standard set. Like, it's just, like, callbacks to old kind of cards and, you know, things in Magic and Magic lore. And, yeah, Colosseldrazimaw, like, took the internet by storm, or at least Magic internet. Not the internet in general, but, you know, Magic internet by storm for a long, long time with all the memes. And are they leaning that heavily into this? I guess I should read the card really quick. A 6/6 Eldrazi dinosaur for 4 green, the same as Colosseldrazimaw. It also has trample, so it's the exact same card, except it has devoid, which means that it has no color, which, for the most part, again, I do mention this, and some people are like, there are uses for that. Yes, there are some uses for it, but typically it's a useless kind of mechanic. Like, I guess if something has pro-green, then it won't have protection from this, so that's, yeah, an edge case. It's a very edge case kind of thing for it to work, but basically this is just Colosseldrazimaw reprinted, but as an Eldrazi. Okay, and so there we're at. Would they go this far and make this? I don't know. I really don't know. Is it going to matter all that much except for memes? Probably not. I mean, I guess if you've got an Eldrazi or a dinosaur deck and you've wanted to utilize this or another, if you already have Colosseldrazimaw on your dinosaur deck and you want another one, there you go. You got it. Otherwise, it's a 6/6 trampler for 6, which 30 years ago, they'd have been like, oh my gosh, there's no downside. What is this devoid? What does that mean? Who cares? No downside. And these days, it's like, oh, why doesn't it cost 4? Because power creep's a thing. Anyways, moving on. We also today, in some like these story articles, I believe, got some actual confirmed spoilers. Let me know if I'm wrong on these, but this looks like it's confirmed. Drowner of Hope. A 5/5 Eldrazi that is not a dinosaur for 5 and a blue. Devoid, it's got no color. So again, talked about how that is either relevant or irrelevant depending on the situation. When it enters the battlefield, you make 2 1/1 Eldrazi Scions that are colorless creature tokens. They have sacrifice creature, add colorless. Sacrifice Eldrazi Scion, tap target creature. Interesting that this one's like specifically Eldrazi Scions. This one does make them obviously, but it's not like you can't just sacrifice any Eldrazi's. I think on a previous, I think it was a leak. It was either a leak or it was a spoiler. It was something where you could sacrifice, or whenever you sacrifice like any Eldrazi, you got like an effect. This one is specific in that it's not just, you know, you can't just sacrifice like Eldrazi spawns. It has to be Scions. It can't just be other Eldrazi. It has to be Eldrazi Scions. I mean, it's interesting in that it can help tap down creatures like ETB, make 2 tokens. There are, of course, ways to go infinite with this technically. I mean, if you had like a token doubler plus, what is it, Emil the Blessed? Is that one able to blink? I think, or Eldrazi Displacer. I think, is Emil the Blessed as well? I can't remember. Regardless, Eldrazi Displacer plus this, plus a token doubler would be infinite mana, infinite sacrifices, infinite Scion. So there is that kind of potential. But yeah, when it comes to like the potential of this one, if you have an Eldrazi deck that maybe makes a good amount of Scions consistently, maybe consider this one because, well, it's a good way to utilize those potentially, like in combat. If you're, oh no, that opponent's going to be swinging at me with their army, no, I'll tap down their big creatures, so they're not going to be doing that. Or, hey, I need to swing at someone and take them out. I can tap down their creatures. Yeah, I mean, there are better Eldrazi out there. Let's just say that. Moving on. Petrifying Meddler, a 4/5 Eldrazi, if I could talk, with Devoid that costs 5 mana in blue. When you cast this spell, tap up to one target creature and put a stun counter on it, and it's got reach. I mean, is it going to see play an Eldrazi Tribal? I don't think so, but it seems more like a limited card to me. Like, stunning that. I guess if you have, like, proliferate synergies, stun can be even better, obviously. Just tapping down a permanent and then saying that, hey, you are, not going to untap. I guess tapping down a creature, I should say. But yeah, I mean, outside of, like, proliferate decks, I don't really see this one seeing play. It's probably not going to make the cut in Eldrazi Tribal. Moving on. Basking Brood Scale. I do say Eldrazi Tribal because apparently, according to some of the leaks, we might be getting 5-color Eldrazi. So if you had a Morophon Eldrazi deck, you might be switching that soon. Basking Brood Scale, a 2/2 Eldrazi Lizard with Devoid that costs 2 mana in green. Pay 1 in a green, adapt 1. Again, adapting means if it had no counters on it, and I do shorthand plus pulling counters, just counters. If it had no counters on it, you put a counter on it. Whenever one or more counters are put on Basking Broodsail, you may create a 0/1 Colossus Eldrazi Scion or Eldrazi Spawn creature token with a sacrifice creature, add colors. This one actually, again, it's interesting, and I'm glad they didn't limit that, because like some of those old adapt ones are like, if it gets a counter on it and it wasn't already adapted or whatever, or like didn't have a counter on it, it's like only the first time it got a counter, like then it would give you that effect. This one's like, no. Like anytime this gets a counter, you get that effect, which this probably has quite a few ways to go infinite in different ways. It probably, let me know in the comments below, but I don't know if there's like one other, I don't think there's a 2-card combo with this. I'm thinking about like, oh gosh, what's that one? It's like an enchantment. Whenever a green creature in his battlefield, you can put Ivy Lane Denizen. I think that might be it. Whenever a green creature in his battlefield, you put a counter on a creature. So you could essentially have a, what's the thing, like Painter's Servant, and change all your things to green, whatever that is. I think that's that. If you have a way to change creatures to green, plus that, and Eldrazi comes into play, cool, I get a counter on this. I sacrifice that, whatever, I get mana, cool. Another one comes into play, another one comes into play. There are pretty much any of those kind of combos where it's like, hey, creature token coming into play, hey, getting a counter like Scurry Oak, I think is another one too. It's got that kind of potential, but probably another hoop to jump through since it is making colorless creatures. Though, if there are also ways to utilize that mana to get counters, or ways like, oh, I sacrifice a creature, I get a counter, whatever kind of ways those are, you have those as well, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, is this going to see a lot of play outside of specific combos? Probably not. That being said, I believe, let me know in the comments below, is this, I mean, it's got to be a callback to like Basking Root Wall-ish, right? It's a very different card, but it's very cool. Anyways, moving on. This one, I believe I already showed, actually, like initially with some of the leaks, I believe this one's already showed. I just want to show it really quick that this apparently has been confirmed to be a real card, Echoes of Eternity. In case you weren't there when I actually went through the leak, really quick. 3 colors. Kindred Enchantment Eldrazi of a triggered ability of a color spell you control or another colorless permanent you control triggers. That ability triggers until time. Whenever you cast a color spell, copy it. Choose targets for the copy. There's a lot of triggered abilities on like big Eldrazi, so there you go. On spells, essentially. So, cool. You get that twice. I mean, some of my play group, Eddie and I, tend to have this discussion of it's kind of just lazy design when Wizards is just like, oh, well, players like Teysa doubling up death triggers. They like Paramodican, so let's just do that every set now. I mean, they didn't start off that way, but it seems like these days it's like every single set must have some kind of a doubling function in it. Blank, 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 additional time. When this happens, additional time. Boring. I mean, is this going to see play in Eldrazi Tribal? Yeah, it's going to be very powerful in that. Also, just like, whenever you cast a color spell, copy it. Pretty much, I mean, I'm not going to say every single color stack could utilize this, but because it is 6 mana, but doubling up every single one of your spells in a color stack, that seems very, very, very good. We shall see how expensive this one's going to be. Wizards, please stop. I know you're not going to, but please stop with all the doubling and tripling effects. It's getting a bit obnoxious. Okay. But now as this episode is coming to a close, it's time for me to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know your thoughts on these cards and the potential card with the, I gotta look up the name really quick one more time. I think it's Colosseldrazimaw. I don't know how I missed that, but yeah, Colosseldrazimaw. It just rolls off the tongue. Colosseldrazimaw. It's gotta be a real thing, right? Like, let me know if you think that one's real. I will show the image right after I'm done talking right now. So maybe you're like, please stop talking so I see the image. Regardless, I will be showing that. Let me know if you think that one's real, because, like, again, are they leaning that heavily into the meme? The art on it just seems a little, not a little bit off. I mean, just a little bit off. Maybe. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are on that in the comments below. Yeah, make sure you stay tuned to this channel for more exciting quick takes, spoilers, everything else. Who knows? Maybe even more leaks before. I think spoiler season starts on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.